Don't ever underestimate the heart of a champion.
Okay, ring culture, as we know, the NBA Finals start tomorrow night. Today, I'm going to give us a comprehensive breakdown on the two teams and the matchups. First of all, these two teams played 3 times in the regular season, when usually you only play the team in the other conference twice. They played in the in-season tournament for the championship, and the Knicks came out on top. First, let's talk about the New York Knicks. The 2026 Knicks Eastern Conference Championships have reached the first NBA Finals since 1999. And they've had a dominant postseason run, sweeping the Cleveland Cavaliers in the Eastern Conference Finals and setting multiple historic records. First, they have the best point differential in the playoffs. Throughout their playoff run, the Knicks have outscored opponents by over 19.4 points per game. That's the best point differential in playoff history. They have the biggest margin in 12 games. Over a 12-game span in the postseason, the Knicks outscored opponents by an unprecedented plus 222, shattering the previous record held by the 2017 Golden State Warriors of plus 96. Double-digit dominance. 9 of their first 10 playoff wins came by double digits. And this is tying them with the 2017 Warriors and the 2013 Miami Heat, entering the NBA Finals with the most double-digit victories in postseason history. New York Knicks team is serious. They are the best shooting three-point team in the playoffs too. I think they're shooting like 40% on 33 attempts. The Knicks are averaging an explosive, astonishing 119.9 points per game. Their shooting efficiency is off the charts. They led all playoff teams in scoring efficiency, hitting a combined 59.3% from 2-point range and 39.6% from 3-point. Just about 40%. And rebounding, the Knicks dominated the glass, grabbing 54.8% of available rebounds to rank amongst the top rebounding teams in the postseason. We got Jalen Brunson. He's scoring at 26.9 points per game and 6.6 assists, while earning the Eastern Conference Finals MVP trophy. Karl Anthony Towns anchored the interior with team-leading 10.6 rebounds and 1.4 blocks. Josh Hart has been shooting the lights out of the building. So the New York Knicks are an extremely dominant team. Let's turn our attention to the Spurs, who took out the mighty OKC. Now, y'all know I am a defensive guy. I love that these teams play defense. So this is probably the most hyped I've been for an NBA Finals in years. As we know, defense has been slowly leaving the NBA, but thanks to OKC, they started to bring back a tough brand of defense. And in this NBA playoffs, the referee seems to be letting these guys be a little bit more physical. So now on the San Antonio Spurs side of things, the 2026 San Antonio Spurs secured a 62-20 regular season record. Historic playoff run. The 2026 Spurs are just the 5th team in the three-point era to reach the finals without making the playoffs in each of its previous 6 seasons. And they have definitely been blowing teams out. The Spurs have 6 playoff wins by at least 20 points. That's tied for the most in NBA history. Their paint defense. San Antonio opponents have shot just 48% in the paint during the 2026 postseason. This is in the paint, where teams shoot a really high percentage, but Wemby's down in the paint, so that is just not happening anymore while he's down there. This is marking the lowest opponent mark in the last 7 postseasons. Their transition offense is 22.4% of San Antonio's possessions have been transitioned, the highest rate among all 2026 playoff teams. Wembanyama, the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, led the 2026 postseason in rebounds with 126 in total blocks, averaging 23.2 points per game, 10.8 rebounds, and 3.5 blocks. I want to talk about the supporting cast too, because there's a player that I've been raving to my homies about, and it's Stephon Castle. Love Stephon Castle. He's a rookie guard. He's been the primary playmaker for the team, and he dished out a playoff lead in 120 total assists while averaging 19.2 points per game. Another guy I love on San Antonio is Vassell. He is good for spacing. He's shooting 36% from the 3-point line and averaging 1.4 steals per game. Then you got Fox. So the supporting cast on both of these teams are going to be critical. The strategy I think that is going to be employed by the Knicks really is to pull Wemby out of the paint with guarding Karl-Anthony Towns. I've seen some people suggest that San Antonio will not start Wemby guarding Towns. The problem with that is if he guards anybody else, he's still going to be farther away from the hoop, so they're going to have to pit him on him. And although the Spurs have some interchangeable wing players on defense, we know 2 years ago that Brunson had a 61-point game, his career high against the Spurs, but that was a vastly different team than it is now. I'm looking for several matchups in this finals. To me, there's going to be several intriguing matchups. There's going to be Jalen Brunson versus Stephon Castle. This is going to be one that's going to be a pretty good chess match. I do not believe that Jalen Brunson is going to be able to just go around Castle at will, but I also don't believe Castle is going to be able to contain him for a whole series, maybe not even a whole half. Cat versus Wemby is going to be a great one. In the wing battle with OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges versus Devin Vassell and De'Aaron Fox, that's going to be a real good one. Josh Hart is going to bring some difficulties to the table for the Spurs because although I love the top of each one of these teams, Wemby and Brunson, I don't want to discount their supporting cast because their supporting cast on both of these teams are great. Both of these teams have a lot of dog in them. It's going to be a great chess match between the coaches. Both of these teams play defense. The New York Knicks is the number 1 rated defense and the number 1 rated offense in the playoffs. The Spurs, I think, were the number 3 rated offense and the number 2 rated defense in the playoffs. So there are a lot of intriguing similarities between these two teams. But one thing that I've noticed watching them play each other this season is that the New York Knicks, they are a lot tougher than I even imagined that they would be. This is going to be a great series. I'm looking forward to every game. Game 1 is going to be a chess match at first. Even though they played each other 3 times, that's still, the playoffs is a lot different than the regular season. So it's going to be a big chess match between these two teams. And we'll see who comes out on top at the end. If I really had to lean towards a team, and this is only by increments, I might lean towards the Spurs. We're going to be looking at rebounding. Is going to be pretty important in this series, especially because Wemby doesn't play that close to the rim. 2 out of the 3 regular season games, the Knicks actually won the rebounding battle against San Antonio, and they won 2 out of 3 of the games. I don't know if that's going to change anyone's calculus that we're leaning towards the Spurs, but this New York Knicks team matches up with these Spurs very well, and they give them a lot of problems. Again, it's so close between these two teams, it's hard to call, but I'm just making a guess just like everyone else, because if we were going by what they did in the regular season, we would pick the Knicks, because the Knicks owned the regular season matchup and they won the rebounding battle 2 out of 3 times. But I think it's going to be more intriguing than that. I think it's going to be a chess match. I think there's going to be adjustments made at halftime of the first game in this series. There's going to be a lot of adjustments back and forth in this series between these two coaches. And they have players that are capable of doing lots of things. Now, if we're talking about which team is more battle-tested in this playoffs, I'm going to say it's the Spurs, even though the Knicks have been historically blowing teams out. Y'all know that Cavs series, I didn't think the Cavs had a chance to win because James Harden was on that team. So they played a team that really didn't have a lot of dog in them from the top. So that makes it easier to blow them out. My Sixers, I felt like was inconsistent, and they played over their head against Boston, and they came back down to what they usually do against the Knicks. So to me, and the West tested the Spurs a lot more. Will that make them too tired for the finals? We'll see. But that's a young team, so I think they can go for, you know, series after series. I'm not looking forward to that being as being the Spurs being tired. I think it's really going to end up with them being hungry after fighting so hard in the playoffs. They had a pretty good test against the Timberwolves, and they had an extremely tough test against the OKC Thunder. Keys to winning, I would say, for the Knicks is control rebounding, shooting threes at a high efficiency, which they are the best three-point shooting team in the playoffs, keeping Wemby away from rebounds, and Karl Anthony Towns has to put pressure on Wemby on offense, and he has to be ready to guard Wemby up on defense. That's exactly what I think is going to happen. The keys to win for the Spurs, to me, is they have to find a way to control Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson's averaging over 30 points per game against them this year in the regular season. They've got to find a way to corral him. And the problem with that is the Knicks can play inside and out, and they can spread you out and shoot your face off from three-point land. They're shooting 33 three-pointers per game in this playoffs, and they're shooting right around 40%. So corralling Brunson is going to be a hard task when he has sharpshooters all around the court on him. It's going to be a very intriguing matchup. But again, like I said, if I had to choose, I'm going to predict it's going to be the Spurs in 7. And believe me, I really don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all prediction is down low. What do y'all think the keys of victory is for each team? And if you have a team that's going to win, tell me exactly why they're going to win down in the comment section. And always remember, we are ring culture, because the whole point of the culture is to win rings for the culture. I love y'all. Peace.